Hello, Paradigm Shift. Thank you for joining me on another journey of expanding consciousness. Today I would like to share an excerpt from a book called Embodiment. This is the book here called Embodiment by Dr. Dane here, and about the differences between acceptance and allowance today. And as I read this section, let's begin to relax and clear our minds.
This story takes us on a woman's journey of speaking to a channeled entity called Roz. There she asks questions about oneness and suffering. She said, "Roz, I'm so sad. I can't handle all the pain and suffering. It's horrendous." Roz asked, "Would there be suffering in oneness?" She said no. He said, "Really, there wouldn't be suffering in oneness. Would there be sadness in oneness?" She said no. He said, "Really? There wouldn't be any sadness in oneness? Doesn't oneness include everything and judge nothing? Oneness is synonymous with consciousness. It includes everything. It includes every possibility you could imagine without any judgment. It includes every greatness possible. It also includes all the pain, suffering, trauma, and drama people choose. You have a white flower. You have a red flower. Which is better? Hello, you don't do that to flowers. You have somebody crying and have somebody laughing. Which is better? Who's to say? Whatever you choose is okay. But be aware that people who say they are choosing consciousness are usually choosing their own version of a polarized reality. A polarized reality contains concepts like good and evil, happy and sad, beautiful and ugly. Most of us think we are choosing consciousness, when in reality, we're still caught up in our own preferences, opinions, and judgments. We say we are choosing consciousness, but we are beating the shit out of other people. We say outrageous things like, "Because I'm choosing consciousness, I can see where you're being an asshole to everyone around you." Guess what? If you have that point of view, you are functioning from a more polarized reality than the person you are judging. Doing access does not mean you're choosing consciousness. Please understand that. Choosing consciousness is the only proof that you are choosing consciousness. There is no room for being in judgment of anyone or anything. If you have a judgment of someone else, if you have a judgment of your body, if you have a judgment of your wife, if you have a judgment of your husband, if you have a judgment of your kids, if you have a judgment of your car, it's time to get over it. You don't have the luxury of limiting yourself with judgment. You can't do it. You have too much power. How do you get over it? You go into allowance. Notice that you're judging. Oh, I'm judging that? Then go into allowance. When you move into allowance, or a place of no judgment, you recognize that you are everything and you judge nothing, including yourself. There is a simple no judgment in your universe. There is a total allowance of all things. When you are in allowance, you are a rock in the stream. Thoughts, ideas, beliefs, attitudes, and emotions come at you, and they go around you, and you are still the rock in the stream. Everything is an interesting point of view. Acceptance is different from allowance. If you are in acceptance when thoughts, ideas, beliefs, and attitudes come at you, you are in the stream. You get washed away. In acceptance, you either align and agree, which is the positive polarity, or you resist and react, which is the negative polarity. Either way, you get washed away. If you are in allowance of what I am saying, you can say, well, that's an interesting point of view. I wonder if there's any truth in that. You go into a question instead of a reaction. How is this in everyday life? Okay. You and your friend are walking down the street. She says to you, I look awful today. What do you do? Oh, poor thing. You look tired. You're working too much. Is alignment and agreement. No, you don't. You look great. Resistance and reaction. Interesting point of view is, really? What makes you say that? You can use interesting point of view as an approach to every aspect of your life. Does someone or something irritate you? He, she, or it is not the problem. You are. As long as you have any irritation, you've got a problem. It's not about the way others respond to you. It's about you being an allowance of them as a completely batshit as they are. You don't have to align and agree with them, nor do you have to resist and react to them. Neither of those are real. You simply allow, honor, and respect their point of view without buying it. Being an allowance of somebody doesn't mean you have to be a doormat. You just have to be with what is. The hardest thing is to be an allowance of yourself. We tend to judge and judge and judge ourselves. We just get locked into trying to be a good parent or a good partner or a good whatever, and we're always judging ourselves. But we can be an allowance of our own point of view. We can say, I had that point of view. Interesting. I did that. Interesting. If you truly desire to create and enjoy the possibilities of embodiment, there's no room for limiting yourself with judgment anymore. There's no room for projecting judgment onto your body. There's no room for projecting it onto other people. Go into allowance. Oh, wasn't that interesting she'd choose that? Oh, wasn't that interesting she'd choose that? I don't know why she'd choose it, but okay, cool. Gee, I had that judgment about myself or my body. Isn't that interesting?
So as you can see, the difference between allowance and acceptance is definitely two different paradigms to consider on how we approach our day-to-day life with each other, expanding our consciousness. Thank you for sharing with me. Have a great day. Namaste.